Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this Facebook and YouTube YouTube live broadcast. I hope I said it right. My name is Bam. I'm so grateful if you're catching this broadcast live tonight. It's August 15, 8 o'clock p.m. Uh, why am I excited? Because I have a guest who's coming on again today. It's going to be my second conversation with her, but and I'm just warming it up so that people can get on the broadcast. I know it takes some time, but my guest appeared here last month, just before my birthday, if I'm not mistaken. So she's gonna be on again, and I think one of the things that you guys will get as you're popping on here will be uh, just before going live here. I was also chatting with her. Sabi ko, your presence is inspiring and encouraging. Especially, I was telling that to her, especially for those of you who heard her story, and I know a lot of you heard her story. Um, and Royce is here. What's up, Royce? Let's go. Royce is excited to come out of such adversity na pinagdaanan niya, and to come out a beautiful soul, inspired, not bitter, 'di ba? Not angry, not vengeful. I think that's what really, touches my heart about my guest, who you already met before, Joana Lazaro of Laurus Enterprises. Um, how many of you watching tonight? By the way, please say hi. So we got Cebu, we got Asali. Hi, Asali. I hope you're doing good. I know you're doing good. Thank you for tagging your friends. Please tag people. I'm trying to make my energy just a little bit subdued kasi, baka I might scare my neighbors if I shout too much. I'm just in a contained space. I'm grateful na tinatag mo all your teammates, and everyone that tag people that especially people who can benefit from a little bit of inspiration and uplifting tonight, because that's definitely what they're going to get. How many of you tonight, as you're watching this, as you're joining me live, how many of you have gone through some pretty challenging stuff like today, right? Just today. I'm sure a lot of you have gone through that. But how many of you have gone through some pretty challenging times, the past week? Like it's Saturday here in Manila. We have people from all over the world watching, on YouTube and here on my page. But how many of you have had a tough past month? How many of you had a tough past 5 months? And this is again the reason why we're doing this work, trying to share encouragement and inspiration with you guys. Why am I excited also tonight? Aside from, of course, having an opportunity to chat with Joanna again, I think it's also a lot of people, atong past week have been sending me message about needing encouragement, needing support in their journey. I was telling Joanna, I've also gone through my struggles and my challenges. I said, we'll talk about it also in a while. Like I've also, felt like, gosh, I wanna be able to see friends, to be able to see family without having the fear of, baka mahawa sila o kami yung mahawa o someone gets hurt. Plus also, if you've been out the past week, the past month, like sa Cebu, they were on lockdown for a long time. A lot of them watching from Cebu. Hi, everyone in Cebu. Um, I hope if you're here, Sina Israel, Julianne, Ada, Sherwin, Jen, please comment. They've all taken the programs. They've all graduated the programs. I miss you guys. Yeah, but to go out during this time and to see the world different from how we know it can be very, for me, it's like can be a very dragging energy. Why is it dragging? Because you'll see businesses closing or businesses not as busy as they were before. Then I'm imagining, like, how are the families doing? But I also have personal friends who are challenged during this time, and we're like, gosh, we have 4 months to go. Parang nakatawa nga. Usually we'd be excited during this time and say it's 4 months till Christmas and all of this stuff. But the harsh reality is, not a lot of people are in that space of excitement, and for a lot of us, it's the first time we're actually going through anything like this. We've never experienced anything quite like this before. So I hope that tonight my guest and I will share, I don't know, some hope, some inspiration, some joy, and perhaps laughter with you guys. So if you're watching tonight, we're gonna go live for approximately an hour to an hour and a half. Depende. It's the format is very much free flowing. So if you have questions or anything that pops up for you guys that you want to ask, or you want to ask my guest or me as we're having the conversation, please feel free to do so. If while we're having the conversation, you feel like someone should be listening to this and makakatulong sa kanila, please tag them right away so they can join the conversation. Everyone all over the world, Singapore, Australia, US, tuning in, good evening and welcome. So I'd like to bring up my guest tonight, who I think she just looks so amazing tonight. Sabi ko nga, she's bringing in that amazing, gorgeous feminine energy. Me, I'm just your typical guy with the headphones at home, and that's just this is the yin and yang, and this is the excitement that we're bringing in for everyone tuning in tonight. So please welcome into my Life Guide Conversations tonight, Miss Joana Lazaro of Laurus Enterprises. Good evening, Joana.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Bam. Good evening to all our viewers. And I could see that there's already a lot of comments. So, yeah, we're ready for tonight, Bam. So, this is so exciting. And for all
Yeah.
our viewers, yeah, to our families and friends tuning in right now, we want to thank you once again for spending your night with us. We know that it's a Saturday night. It's for Netflix time, probably, Bam. But here with us right now. Yeah, so they're willing to spend 1 hour to 1.5 hours with us. And from my home to your home, please accept my love and my enthusiasm and my energy. And I hope really that for tonight, Bam and I will be able to provide you some insights, or that you will be learning from us tonight. We don't know really what to expect, Bam. I don't know what to expect from you tonight, but I trust that it's going to be fun and that it's going to be um, inspiring, not just for our viewers, but for myself as well. So thank you once again, Ba, for tonight.
Thank you, Joanna, for for bringing in the excitement. Also, I'll use the word blessing. We prayed just before starting this, and we say in the seminar, Joanna, there are some people, may mga tao na, and then those who are watching, please say hi. There are some people, we use this as an example. There are some people who walk inside the room, and pag pumasok sila sa room, the whole room lights up. The whole room feels that energy of that person. But they're not necessarily trying to gain attention, but you just feel the energy it changes. It's uplifting. It's inspiring. It's good. And I rarely use that word, but I'm grateful to you because you bring that energy. I mean, and I'm glad that Joanna knows how when I recognize something that is good in people, I speak it out, and I say this because I think a lot of people who are watching this, madami sa kanila, Joanna, everything that's coming out of people's mouths now, madami it's discouragement, madami it's like how bad life is, and I know a lot of people are going through struggles, but to be able to catch the good, to be able to catch the good, and when you see people, that to get that feeling with them that, oh my gosh, there's something good about this person. And I'm not saying perfection, for people who are watching, and I know as we get this conversation going, we'll go through that. But the moment that you see this person, there's something uplifting and there's something inspiring about them. It gives hope, because I see you now, and that's why I say I'm grateful that you're here. I see you now as that light in the middle of all, well, hindi naman all, but in the middle of so much darkness. So, thank you pwede na tayo mag-good night. That's it.
It's a heart for you, Ba. Thank you for everything.
And then I also want to say, you mentioned Netflix. As a matter of fact, I already have two movies na mark ko tonight that I'm gonna be watching and enjoying
Okay.
tonight. Yeah. So hello to MJ, who always watches the live videos. Hello to Riva Denera. Good evening, Bam and Joanne. Hi. Hi to
Hello,
Bernadette.
everyone.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
my
say hi. Go ahead.
friends. Don Claire, thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight, Royce, and everyone, Asali. Hello to all of you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Don Claire. Hi, everyone in Bulacan. Kamusta kayong lahat? So, we'll get right into it. And as sinasabi ko, huwag kayong mag-alala. We won't be ignoring you guys. But once we get into the conversation, if you're taking notes, take notes. Um, Last time we had that conversation last month, there was just so many golden nuggets for me. Napansin ko, I was watching that interview that there were many times I had to stop and I had to breathe because what you went through hindi siya biro, but was not just about what you went through, but we talked about how you were able to, unlike other people who perhaps become angry, become bitter, become frustrated, or they curse God, you turned your life around, Joanna, and what's interesting is a lot of people have, through the coaching, a lot of people are asking me, Bam, like, why am I struggling? Why is this struggle like keep coming up for me? Perhaps tonight as you watch Joanna, you'll hear a lot about how she shares about her mindset, and because if that's you who's going through something today, I pray that you take notes and see how she speaks, the examples that she's using. So we'll say hi, nag-warm up pa lang tayo, na-excite na ako, because we have here the CEO of tama ba? Yeah, of Laurus Enterprises, Mr. Jerome San, who who I have to who I also have to honor and say thank you to Joanna, no, if I may, because you mentioned the but you talked about Jerome's leadership, his humility, his care for people. But I also watched that interview that we did. I think that was posted last month. I can't remember, but it's amazing, Jerome, and I want to say thank you. I really gave a call to him. But you guys in Loris are amazing because you have this gift of, when you listen to people, Joanna and Jerome, you sincerely, you're really there, present, and nararamdaman that you care for people. I think that's the important thing, eh. And naalala ko last time, Joanna, they said like before they would only see you in the background, kind of like organized. And when people started hearing you, they were like, "Wow, we didn't know she could. This is her energy. She could speak like this." So, sige, sino ba? I'm just saying hi to more people from Dubai. Meron tayo from Dubai, Joanna, si
Tita
Hazelin.
Hazel. Yeah.
Your tita. Okay. Hi, Tita Hazel. Uh,
So, Tita Hazel, they always say that I look after her. I look alike. We're
oh,
actually looking like Tita Hazel.
okay. So, Tita Hazel, I hope you are doing good there in Dubai and you guys are safe. I'm glad you are here.
Yeah.
Okay, meron tayong comment for you. You're so pretty, Jo. From Amy.
From my former office, Bam, because I have a lot of mommies, eh. So I'm
Okay.
so fortunate na, even though I don't have my real mom anymore, there's so many titas and mommies who are loving me so much like their own daughter. And Mommy Ami is one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think from your story, you're one of those people who's very blessed to have people that cared for you and loved you, but you also are sharing that as well. As we get started, like I wanna, I'm just saying hi to a lot of people popping up. But as we get started, maybe let's start with this, Joanna. Like, how have you been? Like since we chatted, no, I don't know, July 4 or whenever that was last month, I think. Like, how have things been with you? Please share. Take the floor. Share how things have been since that time with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it has been more than a month, Bam, since our first live. And again, once again, Bam, allow me to thank you for that opportunity that you have given me. And as I said, that was my first time doing an FB live and talking about my life openly. So it was really a great opportunity that you have provided me. And I've been receiving lots of wonderful messages from people that I know, from my own family, from my relatives and friends, and from those who I just met through your page. And they've been saying a lot of wonderful things to me, and they're really very empowering, Bam. So in our world right now, especially that we are undergoing this pandemic due to the COVID-19, it's really wonderful to hear such wonderful words of affirmations and encouragement from people that we know, or from people that we don't even know, because it only tells us that really the world that we have, it's still beautiful no matter what. With all the chaos, with all the problems that we are facing here in the Philippines and even other nations, we could still say that there's still so much hope in humanity, that we're not losing that humanness in us because of these little things that we are doing for other people. Just saying that you have been inspired, that you are grateful for whatever it is that you heard. Little things matter, and that's the most important. When we learn how to appreciate the little things that we are receiving in our lives, I think it would pile up, and then it becomes like a ball of fire that keeps on um, firing up inside of you, and it keeps you going. It gives you so much energy. It gives you so much opportunity to keep on going and to keep on believing. So thank you for the wonderful opportunity that you have given me, and for everyone who joined us during the part one. Once again, from the bottom of my heart, I really want to thank you for all the wonderful things that you have told me, and that I'm thankful to God that I was able to inspire you with my own personal story. So yeah, more than a month ago, there has been a lot of things that has happened, in particular with Laurus Enterprises, Bam. Right now, because we are in the business of events organizing, so we are into live events. We're bringing in speakers from other countries and bringing them here to the Philippines. And now, because of the pandemic, we cannot do anything of that for safety purposes, right? But then, the universe is just so good to us, because it continued to provide us so much opportunity to do what we love to do and to do what we are really passionate about. And that's empowering people through the events that we continue to provide. And because of the partnership also that we were able to develop with other people, like with Success Resources, with the Mind Valley team. So right now we are the official partner, or the only partner I meant, of Mind Valley in the Philippines. And right now we're promoting Unleash the Power of Virtual by Tony Robbins, your favorite, my favorite. So, things are just so wonderful, but at the same time, they're very tough. Honestly, Bam, I think for 2 weeks prior to this week, everything in me is so chaotic. Like, I'm so stressed, I'm so pressured because of the so many deliverables that I have on my plate. But everything turned out well, and I love actually the pressure, and I love it because sabi ko nga, every time people would ask me, how am I doing? I would always answer them with, I'm doing great, busy. But you know what? In this world that we have right now, busy is really, really, really good, because some people that we know, they don't have an opportunity to be busy anymore with their business or with their job, because they already lost it. So for me, it's a really wonderful blessing to still be busy and be able to do what I love to do, and that is empowering people, providing programs, and providing encouragement to other people.
I think just like I said, looking at you, people might think na, teka, mukhang wala tong ito yung taong walang problema. Because like I said, you bring a light, Joanna. But I want to touch on something. Sabi mo that 2 weeks chaotic, there was stress, like really, talaga. May ganun you have it. So
True.
now this is important. And how many of you watching this, like you're going through a lot of stress? Like I've been going through this like the past few days. It hasn't, Joanna, it hasn't felt good for me. It affects you. I don't know, ikaw, for me, it affects my sleep. Even when I wake up, dinaanan ko na to nung start ng pandemic. Then kind of got over it. Found my
Yeah.
routine. Then there are times I'm looking out, and I'm looking out just outside my door. I'm like, then I think to myself, like, you know, when will we be able to just experience some form of normalcy? And this is not for like the world. Like my soul is craving for, to be able to connect with people, to sit down with you guys and have coffee, perhaps, without fear na, and we're all wearing masks, but also something that's been bearing heavy on my soul. Like today, I went out, I did a few errands, and you'd go. I know we're on MECQ here in Manila. For those who are watching abroad, that means we're on quarantine, and movement is restricted. Then you'll see these businesses, closed, when normally you go to these malls, they would be open. You'd see workers smiling and at least trying to solicit customers and clients and all that stuff. And then you think, my gosh, like, I wonder how their families are doing. I wonder
Yeah.
how this is something that I had with my guest last week. I think it was with Marga, who has 6 children, and you were also watching that. I appreciate you for being there.
There.
Then we're trying to imagine, like, how is it for people who are home with kids and then their business. Ang dami nilang ginajuggle, and I know you're doing a lot. So maybe there's a question here for you, and then I'll go to. There's a lot of great comments here about praising God and being grateful. But maybe I'll ask this, like, how does someone like you, how does Joanna handle stress, so that for people who are watching, like, we are stressed, like, maybe you can share a little bit about how you go through that and handle it, if you may go ahead.
Honestly, I don't handle stress so well, Bam.
Really? Okay,
Sometimes,
so okay.
yeah, I let myself to be under the weather. I acknowledge. I always acknowledge that I'm so stressed, and I would even inform my team that I'm stressed. I'm so pressured because what's happening right now in Laurus Enterprises, because we have so many programs or projects coming up, and I'm managing the sales, the marketing, and also the communication part of the company. So those three things, when you're trying to do them all together, that's really going to give you so much headache at times, because I would have to wear my hat as the salesperson or the marketing person or the communications person. So sometimes they would require you to wear the same hat, all the hats at the same time. So that's really very pressuring for me. But what I do is that I acknowledge it, and then I would always inform my team, like Jerome, Angie, and Jeff, that I'm under stress and I don't really feel good. And then what I would do, yeah, I'm a Netflix person, Bob. So I would binge on Netflix, because one of the things that I've been learning from so many people that I've been listening to is that allow yourself to feel the pressure. Do not deny that you are actually being stressed, or something is really causing you so much stress. You have to be aware in the very first place, what is this stress providing to you? Where is it coming from? Because the only time that you will be able to deal with those is that when you become aware, and that once you started acknowledging, where is my stress coming from? So that's what I would always do. Then I would determine, out of the things that I'm doing right now, what is it in particular that's really causing me stress? So most of the time, what causes me stress is that um, I allow myself, or I do so many things at a time, or meaning all together. So
Sabay-sabay.
sabay-sabay, yeah. So I'll be doing UPW now, I'll be doing Mind Valley now, I'll be communicating now. So, my task, halo-halo talaga siya. So yun yung nagpapabigay talaga sa akin ng sobrang stress. So once I realized that, I would step back, and then I would have my coffee. And then, because our unit, we have a little balcony and we have lots of plants outside. And then I would just go out and sip my coffee and look at the greens, because really the plants, they provide you so much serenity. It allows you to breathe. So that's what I'm going to do, or that's what I usually do. And then I give myself like permission to really pause, like 5 to 10 minutes. I would pause, and then I would also play classical music. I love Mozart, because I believe Mozart is a brain music, right? So it allows you to relax. So whenever I would listen to Mozart, I start to relax. And at the same time, I also started listening to K drama OST. You know, um, and even when I'm working, I would play K-drama OSTs, because I realized I don't speak Korean. I don't understand their language. So it's not really making me, or taking my concentration away, because with classical music, the reason that you want to listen to them is because it allows you to concentrate on the things that you want to do, right? But I find the same effect when I was
Right.
listening. Whenever I would listen to a K drama OST because I don't understand the language at all, so I couldn't hymn or I couldn't sing along. So I just allow because and it gives me so much good vibes, and I would always remember the favorite episodes or the favorite parts that I saw from a particular K drama that I've watched. So for all our friends outside, yes, I binge watch K drama, but I'm actually a late bloomer. Remember, Bam, when we had dinner sometime in March before all this quarantine, you were telling me about Chloe, Crash Landing on You. I
Mm-hmm.
started really watching it around May, and then the second K drama that I watched was Itaewon, and then it took me 3 weeks after before I could watch Itaewon, and then next to my K drama. So I have my own facing as well. So that's what I do to allow myself to breathe because it's really important to give ourselves an opportunity to breathe. That regardless of all the tasks, and one of the things that I also do, Bam, is that I love taking notes, and I always have this kind of this paper in me, and then I would take note of my to-dos. And even in the middle of the night, when I think of something, I would get my phone and write it under my to-do list, so that when the day comes, I won't forget anything, and I'll be able to focus once again. And once I have given myself an opportunity to breathe, and then I go back in front of my laptop, dire-diretso na yung process ko. And I don't want to be disturbed anymore. Like sometimes the team would ask me something else, but right now I'm focused in Mind Valley or I'm focused with UPW. I won't mind them. Like I won't even respond unless it's so necessary, unless it really needs my urgent attention, but I won't
Mm-hmm.
respond because I really want to just focus one task at a time so that I won't burn out and pressure myself too much.
Thanks for sharing that. I mean, there's a lot there. I'll just post this from Angie san. Hi, Angie. God is good.
Yes,
um but when when we were, I'll go back to things that you said, no, but sabi lang ni Win, thanks for commenting, Win. Sabi niya, you said you were stressed, it doesn't show.
thank
He also
you.
says, handling all of those things and being so energetic and fresh, that yeah. um something came up for me, while you were sharing. One of the things is this, sabi mo, to acknowledge that, like, where is this coming from? The stress, that
Mhm.
not good feeling. I think, while for those who are watching, while many of you watching, perhaps you've been like me before, where something stressful would come and you would pretend that it's not there. Or kakamustahin ka, you would also, are you stressed? Are you okay? No, no, I'm okay. I'm fine. When kumukulo ka na, or you're
Oo,
about to break down. So for you, I like that. I wrote that down. It's important to acknowledge that you're not in
mhm.
a good state. Then
Yes.
another thing that I picked out from what you shared, sabi mo, then you would, there were the you mentioned plants. I'm officially plantito during this quarantine.
Yeah.
Every week, Joanna, every week I was like looking at plants and buying plants. Um, it's been such an amazing, nakita kita one time that you had plants in your car.
Yeah.
I mean, it's wonderful, and people that I know are getting into this thing because it's quite relaxing for us. It's
Yes.
helping us. Then you mentioned music. So, well, what I'm picking up there from those two things, first is to acknowledge that you're not okay, and to let
Mm-mm.
people also be aware. Para hindi na lang, we don't just snap. I'm not in an okay space. But also, the,
Mm-mm.
the second part I got there was also to we call it, I'm sure you're aware of that, like managing your state. Meaning, if you're not in a very good state, you find a way. Take six. I call it taking six. Take six deep breaths, or for you to sip your coffee, to go outside, be with your plants, to breathe. Then you mentioned also music.
Yeah.
Nakakatawa lang with what you mentioned. You mentioned Mozart or K drama OST. I mean, that's quite. Do I go with Mozart or K drama? That's pretty amazing. But I think the main point for people who are watching is, for you guys, and I'm glad you're tuning in. Please, continue commenting and sharing what you're learning. I saw also Royce's brother comment kanina. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Like, what is it that you guys do? Not to pretend that you're not stressed, but to sort of like para kumalma ka, no, Joanna? Para kumalma ka ng konti for you to find peace. Because I've also experienced, Joanna, and this is my own story. Pag stressed ako, the number one na nakaaway ko dito, Joanna, is my thoughts. You know,
Yes.
it's like wherever I go, it's freaking there. Like it's there. It's my thoughts. It's like, if I go to bed, it's there. If I go outside, it's there. Maybe you can share something because see Russell Palaya, that's Russell's brother. Russell is a coach. He's a fitness trainer. He's a sexy, slim guy. Follow him if you're looking for a fitness coach. And
Mr.
promote Russell.
Chinatown, Russell P.
Sorry.
He's Mr. Chinatown. Or is it Mr. Binondo? Russell.
Oh, there you go. There you go. We got Mr. Chinatown, or yeah, whichever award you got. I'm glad you're here, Russell. So Joanna, I mean, you've worked. But by the way, yung mga nanonood dito, like team from Cebu, Joanna has worked with international trainers who, they are the ones who train the whole world. Like Blair Singer. Those amazing trainers from Millionaire Mind Intensive by T. Harv Eker. So Joanna, maybe can you touch a little bit about what support can we get, like especially for us guys when we're overthinking, we're over processing stuff. And I know kasi from your conversations with Blair, he talks about little voice mastery. You've gone through a lot of these yung programs na dinadaanan nila Joanna. She's gone through all the programs. Maybe you can share a little bit, like these nagging thoughts in our minds, Joanna. It keeps popping up for us, and it makes us more stressed. It makes us more angry. And ano gagawin namin? Like, iinom na lang ba kami? Will we just pretend? What do we do? Can you give maybe share something?
I think, Mom, in particular, there's no perfect formula or a standard formula on how we can actually deal with our own challenges or whatever it is or whatever emotions that we are going through. There's so many already information provided by so many speakers and trainers. And one of the things that I would always tell people is that whatever rocks your boat, yeah,
Yes.
do it. Because if for me, Mozart, K-drama, OST, having coffee and staying at the balcony and looking at my plants for 5 to 10 minutes, it allows me to breathe and it allows me to cool down, then I would continue doing that. So I think one of the things that we can, or the thing that we can do, all of us, is that find don't be afraid to experiment. Like, if music works for you, then continue listening to music. It doesn't mean that somebody told you that you should listen to a particular podcast, then you should really do it. Because different folks, different strokes, right? We have our own ways of dealing with particular challenges, and our challenges, Bam, it's actually unique to us. Remember when I said last time in our first chat is that whatever that we are going through, it's not really unique to you because other people probably are most probably 100%, I meant, they're also experiencing it. But what's unique is the way you choose to tackle that particular challenge or issue that you have. So
Mhm.
that's something that's really particular with you, and that you have a different way of telling it to people or inspiring people with that particular challenge or story of yours. So I think it's really important that we find something, experiment, keep on experimenting. And Blair said, when emotions are high, logic is low. So I always remember that thing that Blair shared to us because it's true. At this very moment, you are pressured because you have so many deliverables in you. So your emotions are getting crazy. Don't act on it at that very moment. Allow yourself to cool down so that your logic would prevail over you. Because once you acted upon your own emotion, it might something that you would regret later on. Like probably you said something that you didn't really want to tell other people, or you've done something that can be harmful to you or to other people later on, but because you are in the moment, in the heat of your emotion, you acted on it and you said things or you did things, and then later on you realize I shouldn't have said that. So the repercussion, mas magiging malala siya. So I always remind myself that right now I'm very emotional. Right now I'm very unstable. So take a deep breath, go out, have my own coffee. Don't look at my chat. Don't look at any messages that my team is sending me. Don't talk to anybody until I'm able to cool down and allow myself um, to really take in whatever is happening or whatever it is I'm feeling. And also one of the things that I've learned from Millionaire Mind Intensive or from T. Harv Eker is his formula of TFAR. Your thoughts leads to your feelings, that leads to your action, that leads to your result. So we are human being, Bam, and I think I'm not sure where I heard this. There is a reason that our brain is on top of us and our heart is in the middle. Because when everything is falling apart and we felt that we are being drawn apart, here, through our emotions, logic should always prevail. So think of how is it going to affect you long term. I always want to look at it like 1 month from now, a year from now, or 3 years from now, or 5 years from now, how is this going to affect me? That's how I always look at it, Bam, so that I could make a better decision for myself, and especially when I'm undergoing tough challenges in my life, Bam. I really take some time off, and I wouldn't talk to anybody and just allow wallow in my own pain, and then I would always think, okay, so what is this teaching me right now? Why am I undergoing this kind of challenge? And what should I learn from this? And then if I acted on it, like I have option A, this is my action. Option B, this is I'm going to do. What's happen if I take option A? What's going to happen if I take option B? Is it going to give me happiness later on, or is it just going to provide me so much misery? So I always do that. That's my, kind of tough because there's a lot of processing that you are doing. But for me, personally, I find it very helpful because it allows me to give myself, alam mo yun, yung mag-cool down yung emotion ko. Kasi ang dami kong iniisip eh. 'Di ba? Ang dami
Yeah.
kong iniisip, yung emotions ko, naku-cover siya. So by the time that I'm able to formalize, finalize a decision, medyo better na yung pakiramdam ko and I could go back to doing what I have to do.
I mean,
Nag-
that's great. No, it makes a lot of sense because what I liked about what you said was, different folks, different strokes. So there's no one size fits all. I mean, you find what works for you. For me, it's breathing. For others, it's crying. For others, it's sitting with plants. For others, it's talking. For others, nagsha-shut down naman. Iba natutulog. Iba nagwo-workout. Some call their parents. Okay, I call my mom. And it's very helpful. So I love that answer. I mean, really find out what can help you to calm down. May naalala din ako kasi we're sharing. I don't know if you're familiar with Dr. John D. Martini. He's also
yeah.
I like it that you smile. It means you must like also he talks a lot about great stuff. One of the things that he mentions, and a lot of trainers mention this, not to allow yourself to be emotionally hijacked. Ibig sabihin, pag na-hijack ka na ng emotions, this is where you hurt people, but you also end up hurting yourself. So sabi niya, allow your executive center, I think it's prefrontal cortex of your brain, where you can make decisions and your will is there, so that you don't regret. But I also wanted to segue. Ang dami, when you say stuff, there's so much we can talk about. but maybe segue into Joanna with, Joanna and her team are responsible for bringing financial literacy to so many people here through Robert Kiyosaki's program, the Cash Flow 101. If I tama ba, what do you call it? The Cash Flow program.
The 101 workshop. Yes.
Okay, the 101 workshop. I mean, they also talk about, mastering your emotions, because like the relationship with money, I know you talk about that as well. It's emotions. If hindi mo master emotions mo when you're depressed, you get your that credit card, and you just swipe the heck out of that, and then you later get into so much consumer debt and you regret.
That you
So okay, yeah, well, same. I think that's great, because we all have that story, nga, no, when we're depressed, when we think like stuff is going to fulfill us. That's why, no, I'm mentioning it. So I'm also letting them know that they have this program that's amazing, um, which is financial literacy through Robert Kiyosaki's programs. So that was another one. Also, I think, wait lang, I want to say hi to Jev from Laurus also. Hi, Jev.
another
Glad you're
partner
here.
of ours.
So sabi mo,
There's
go, go.
four of us in Laurus. So Jerome founded the company, and then we have Angie San. So she is the COO. Jeff is the CFO. She manages finance because she is a certified public accountant, and she's really, really good in numbers. Angie naman, she's really good with logistics and taking in charge of the back end, the back things, whatever you call.
Yeah,
Kalimutan
yeah,
ko the back things.
yeah.
Jerome naman, he's really very visionary. So he's the one, I work with him closely also because he's part of my creatives team. So he do the videos and the images. So we team up most of the time for all the marketing materials that were coming up in Laurus Enterprises. So I'm glad that they're here. Thank you guys.
Um, so I'm trying to absorb, because there's a lot also, uh that I'm picking up from your answers. But I also want to say hi to people. When you're being torn apart, logic should prevail. I think this strikes a chord sa akin, Joanna, and for a lot of people, because a lot of people were led by our emotions, eh. And then nagtataka tayo, like, Joanna, why isn't my relationship working? Well, maybe nagpa-hijack ka sa emotions mo. I like what you were saying about the head and the heart, na-hijack ka. And then you notice, like, even if you change relationships, it's the same struggle. Even if, like with money as well. Like, so I was like, why am I not, creating like a different result with my money? Because your thoughts, the way you think, lead to your feelings. And, whether you feel down, it'll lead you to your unwise spending, and it leads to what? Being in debt and all of this
Yeah.
stuff. So this is great. So sabi lang ni Amy Granadino, your talk. Do you know, Amy? Your talk is really very inspiration.
She's
Siya,
my
sorry.
mommy.
Yeah, Shane, binanggit mo kanina. Yeah. So
Yes.
hi. I can't see the picture because she looks very young. I can't see the photo. Hi. So I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. So sige, so we've talked about what's his stress. We've talked about the mindset. We've talked about um, steps that you can take to ano to para hindi ka ma-hijack emotionally. Um, there were some stuff na hindi natin napag-usapan last time that you mentioned also, which, since we have time, we can tackle on whether it was the driving, or it was what got you to, because I'll pick it up from there. There's a lot of lessons there as well. Or also your journey, since you've mentioned Loris, perhaps, because you mentioned your team as well. Yeah, maybe you wanna take the lead, and where would you like to, what, because you nabanggit mo sa akin to, eh. So go ahead,
Yes.
Joanna.
Yes. I think I could share about how I became part of Loris Enterprises, and it was a long journey for me, Bam. As I've shared on our first chat, is that I've been through a lot of jobs. So since I
Remember.
was more than half of my life, I've been working already, and then when I was able to get my diploma and got my licensure as a teacher, a secondary
Teacher.
teacher, I really thought, yeah, at the time that I'm going to be a teacher by then. So what I did at the time is that I enrolled in the graduate school, and I took up master classes or master degree for teaching secondary. So and when I was there, I met a former classmate of mine. Her name is Juliet. Um, and then she mentioned, so Juliet, if you're listening and if you will be able to watch me sometime later on. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity, for sharing the information about PISAM, Power Sector Assets and Liability Management Corporation. So it's a GOCC. So Juliet shared to me that the Office of the President at the time, they're looking for an assistant, an admin assistant. So she asked me if I want to try it on. So because at the time, really, the most important thing for me is to earn, right? You remember that? Because
Yeah,
I have a family to support, and
I remember.
my money blueprint and my success blueprint, they're really broken, especially those times. I don't have a concept of saving. I don't have a concept of um, making money so well before. So whatever job that I'm being offered, I take it, especially if it's something I saw that's going to help me. So I saw the opportunity and I applied, and luckily for me, I got hired because another friend of mine also applied for the same position. So it was fortunate for me, and thank God that I was the one chosen for that position. And then after at the office of the president, there was an opening in the Treasury Department. So as a tawag dito, analyst, finance analyst. So I also applied in the position, and I got lucky once again because I got accepted, and it's for a regular position. That's the time that I've worked directly with Mommy Ami, who's working right now. Um, so when I was working under the finance department, because I don't know anything about accountancy, and I really suck in math. I'm not your type of student before that really loves math. I hate it so much, guys. I really hate math. And even until now, my whole team knows that. I really suck on it, and I'm not ashamed to share that information about me. So because I'm under the finance department, and one of my tasks is to do statement of accounts, and
Mm-hmm.
not knowing anything about that. What I did, I really that's when my passion or my like for personal development and trainings started. When I
Okay.
realized that I would have to learn how to do statement of accounts, how to balance my debit and credit. So what I did, I enrolled in UP that time because they have a 3-month program, accountancy for non-accountants. So I enrolled myself in that. I didn't ask the company, like I used my own money. Even though I know that whatever I would learn from that training, it's going to benefit the company. But I look at
Wow.
it, it's going to benefit me more. So it's okay for me to spend. So I went to school, I go back, I went to that program, I paid for my own tuition fee so that I could learn a little bit or basic accountancy. And then after that, another task was given to me, which is to write correspondence. And because we are in a GOCC company, so all the letters that I am writing, it doesn't it's not within the Treasury Department anymore. It goes up to the Vice President, it goes up to the Office of the President, and sometimes it goes out of the agency, like it goes to Malacanang, Department of Energy, Department of Finance. So I realized, and I'm thankful because I had a mentor that time. Her name is Yael, Miss Yael. We used to work together in the office. And she was so blunt to me, and she was so frank that she told me that, your letter sucks. Like your verb, your subject and your verb, they are constantly fighting each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
So ibig sabihin, ang pangit ng construction ko ng mga statements ko, ng mga sentences ko. And it was really painful for me to hear those kind of comment. But when I internalized at that moment, sabi ko, shucks, I think I really have to do something about this. So I need to enroll myself again. So what I did, I looked for programs, trainings, and the classes that would help me improve on my English, especially business writing and American English. So I was taking 2 classes at that time, and both classes, paid by me once again. So I didn't recommend to my boss to bring me or to enroll me or to pay for my own training because I always look at it na pag umalis na ako kay Pisam or mapunta ako sa ibang company, mababaon ko kasi yun eh. That's
Yeah.
my personal skill. So
Yeah.
it's okay if I spend for it because it's going to benefit me the longest time. Because at that time I don't have plans of working somewhere else or doing business whatsoever. It's just that in my mind I know that it's going to be benefiting me for the longest time. So it was okay for me to spend for my own personal education. So because of that, I learned accountancy. For non-accountants, I learned business writing. I learned American English. So I'm so happy and proud of myself at that time because all my letters, hindi na siya bumabalik na puro pula. Kasi before, when I was starting, whenever I would receive my letter, the memo that I drafted, there's just so many red in it and parang gusto kong matunaw sa sobrang kahihiyan. But then, when I started learning and studying really hard with business writing, writing correspondence, those kind of things, and then my letter started coming back to me na wala ng corrections. And I'm so proud na lahat ng mga correspondence ko na ginagawa ko before. And I became part of a technical working group pa, helping with the creation of the technicalities of the project that we are doing that time. It makes me so happy and so proud, Bob, na parang I really wanted to give myself, siguro na time na yun, hindi ko pa kasi alam na you need to acknowledge yourself also. Pero basta alam ko, sobrang masaya lang talaga ako ng moment na yun. And then, so it went on for several years. And then a friend of mine introduced me to a business. It's a distribution business. So at first, I was introduced to use the product. And if you could soon see me before, Bam, sobrang pangit po ng skin ko talaga before. And it has given me so much tawag dito, sadness. Tsaka sobrang mababa po yung confidence ko before because I have so much, I have acne all over. And one neighbor of mine, he's a guy, and hindi na ako galit sa kanya ngayon pero he told me before that, alam mo yun, sabi, kasi parang yung biruan is that, mukha na tinubuan ng pimple. Ako daw, pimple na tinubuan ng mukha. So can you just imagine the kind of pain it gave me? So when my friend introduced me to this product and I started using it, it really worked on me. And then I saw the business side. So I went into the business, and that's when I met Jerome San. And then Jerome,
Oh, okay. I got it.
little did I know that Jerome San pala is the official facilitator and organizer of the Cash Flow 101 workshop of Robert Kiyosaki here in the Philippines. And he was certified by Rich Dad Asia Bellum Tan.
So
So that,
can I ask something? So this time you met him with this skin product that helped you, but the time that you met Jerome, he was a distributor of this particular product, but he was also already parang well, ano to, parang accredited or licensed to the official certified
yes,
to do the.
yes.
Okay, so ginagawa na ni Jerome dati pa pala.
Ginagawa
Okay,
ni Jerome.
okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes. So they invited me to the Cash Flow 101 workshop. So I don't know anything about the Cash Flow 101 workshop. So I went to the workshop and I played, and then I was able to get out of the rat race. So I hope the viewers right now, if you're not familiar with Cash Flow 101 workshop, the rat race and all, you can Google it because these are the terms being used in the Cash Flow 101 workshop. And when I played it for the first time, I was able to get out of the rat race. So that's when my idea of a passive income kicked in. Like, I was already thinking to myself at that time, wow, so if I have a business on the side, then on top of my active income that's coming from the company I'm working with, pa on the other side. So ibig sabihin, it's going to give me so much more opportunity to spend kasi I'm a spender eh. So I'm
Yeah.
a shopaholic before. Hanggang ngayon pa rin naman, sorry. So
Okay. Okay.
I'm a shopaholic. So that's one of the things that I'm not so proud, but
But
I acknowledge
but
it to
I
myself.
but I have to ask this again since you mentioned that. Sorry for jumping in. Okay. Para may clarity lang. Shoes, bags, or something else.
Shoes, bags, clothes, accessories.
Okay. All right. Wow. Pumasok pala yung shoes and bags. Okay, that's all. Go ahead. Go ahead. Madami nakaka-relate eh. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Uh, if you could see me, yeah, I love big earrings. Tapos I love clothes. I love shoes. I love bags. And then I have this particular brand of bag that I really love to own for the longest time. Pero, ano yun, inalaw ko muna yung sarili ko to ano ba tawag doon? to be worthy of it. Pinaghirapan ko muna siya. Pinagkita, ano, parang I made myself worthy of buying that thing. And that when I acquired that brand of bags, it gave me so much happiness. And yun, so medyo marami akong bags dun sa brand na yun, Bam. Pero
Okay.
ano yun, when
I
sobrang masaya lang ako.
sorry, sobrang what? What is it?
Sobrang masaya lang ako every time I look at the bags kasi ano sila, they
Oh.
are a testament of my hard work. So I don't
Okay.
see
Are you?
them as mm-mm.
Yeah. No, go ahead. You don't see them as.
I don't see them as expenses. I see
Okay.
them
Are
as my reward for my hard work.
are you talking about luxury bags?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, so just to also, I guess, share a point. I mean, a lot of people who are watching this work hard, but they feel guilty. And I know you teach a principle, from the play jar, but a lot of people have not heard that principle as well. But to also, be able to reward yourself. But I like what you said. Parang iba yung feeling when the accomplishment feeling, but also the value that you give it, but also because you get to enjoy. My mom says, sabi niya, Bam, aanhin mo pa yung pera if you don't spend it. I'm not saying spend it unwisely, be irresponsible, but of course, if na sort of like the divide mo na yung finances mo, and there's money there that you by all means enjoy without guilt. Yeah.
Yes.
So speaking of
And
no
that's
guilt, go ahead.
I think the reason siguro for some other people that they feel guilty about spending a certain amount of money on luxurious things, probably nagkukulang sila sa ibang areas like contribution.
Okay.
Probably nagdadamot ka sa family mo, probably nagdadamot ka sa ibang tao, kaya whenever you splurge or buy something that is too expensive for other people, you feel so guilty. Maybe you can put a balance to that.
Okay.
Ako kasi that's what I do. I spend, but at the same time, I don't neglect my obligations to my family, to my husband, to my community. So that's
So
why
so
I
I
whenever I yeah, whenever I would see my bags, it's giving me happiness kasi alam ko pinaghirapan ko yung pera na ginamit ko to purchase that. Number one, and number two, I'm still able to contribute on my own little way. I'm not saying na parang ibigay mo lahat, pero I have my own parameters eh. Ano ba yung kailangan kong ibigay sa ibang tao? Yun.
I don't know if you'd be comfortable asking this, but I was just gonna say, nakaka-relate sa'yo si Angie because Angie said all. All caps yan. So Angie, sorry?
Yeah, you know why? She said, kasi once we
No.
started with Laurus Enterprises, what happened was, because our business, it takes a lot of capital because we're bringing international people, then we have royalty fees to pay, we have franchise fees, those kind of things that we are paying. So, ano kami, we paid ourselves last. We only started splurging or allowing ourselves to buy these things that we love parang 2 years ago na lang or last year lang yata kami nag-start ba?
Wow.
Tama. Last year lang. 2019 lang. So sabay-sabay kami. Ako si Jev and Angie. Pare-pareho kami ng mga bags na pinapurchase at that time because we really rewarded ourselves. Pero it took us like we've been working together in Laurus Enterprises since 2015. So it took us 4 years or almost 5 years before we were able to reward ourselves. Inuna muna talaga natin to ano yung pangangailangan.
I mean, this is a classic example of delaying gratification. I can only imagine yung joy nyo ni Angie, ni Jev, when you finally got to that space. But I know it's ibang feeling yun eh, yung you waited, you prioritize what was important to prioritize. But I also like what you said, sabi mga so the people who are watching so they don't feel guilty. Make sure that you already determine what's an amount that you are joyfully willing to give to your family or whatever, to charity, so that when you spend there, nakaalat na yun sa'yo. Because there's also this principle of the currency of the flow, where when people are not also giving to themselves, it also restricts the flow of the abundance or the money.
Mm. Yeah, the law of receiving and the law of giving. In our event, Millionaire Mind Intensive, it's one of the things that our trainers are teaching. And ako, in personally, Bob, I have a problem with receiving. I'm not a good receiver, but I'm a good giver. So whether
Yeah.
it's gifts, words, love, I love giving to other people or to those important to my life. But whenever I would receive from other people, halimbawa, words of affirmation, I don't know how to respond to that. So lately na lang din talaga ako bang natututo na because even halimbawa sasabihin mo sa akin, "Uy, ang ganda naman ng damit mo." Titingnan ko kagad sa sarili ikaw kunwari, I'm going to look at you and then I'm going to look at, "Oh my gosh, I have to return his compliment." I don't say thank you
Mhm.
because I'm
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
good it was something that I have to work on myself. For that's why right people would say something to me. I always inuuna ko kagad sinasabi ko kagad sa sarili ko, "Oh, Joanna, you're a good receiver. Just say thank you first." Okay.
Yeah.
Receive it. Yeah.
It's actually an affirmation we do in MMI, diba? I'm an excellent receiver, and we do that with so much. And it's
Yes.
funny, we're talking about, of course, giving is a given, but receiving is difficult for a lot of people. I mean, there's just so much guilt and obligation, like sinabi mo nga, like, I can't even, ang ganda ng damit mo, ito, luma na to. Ang ganda-ganda mo naman, hindi nga ako nakaano. But to be able to, I know, because I understand that, but I also learned that through personal growth programs, to be able to say thank you. As a matter of fact, there's an exercise we do in MMI. I don't know if they still do it, but when you give that compliment, you just say thank you. I don't know if you guys still do that, but whatever it's given to you, just say thank you, and it feels good. Finally, for the longest time, especially people who are watching na pagod na, or depleted na yung love tank, because they're not able to just say thank you. Why do we need to always think that there's some other motive versus just wanting to share some goodness, when we also do it for other people. So great point. I hope you guys are enjoying. Please let me know, by the way. Nakalimutan ko yung mga tao, but please comment if you're here and you're liking the topic. Please let us know. So Bernadette says, I remember when I was younger, Ate Joanne would bring a typewriter. Okay, so this is, ini-imagine ko si Joanna, if you're saying younger, like, ano to, like, what type of type? Ito ba yung mabibigat na typewriter? Or was this an electronic typewriter?
Because that time, ano pa ba, laptop is really a luxurious thing before.
Yeah,
It's not a
true.
necessity before, it's a luxury, right? So what I don't have the money to spend for that or to buy those. So what I have is a typewriter. So this one, Bernadette is my cousin from the father side, and Big Four kasi parati kami may mga family gatherings. Nagkakataon kasi at that time, Bam, I was working in PISAM, the GOCC. I was studying MBA every Saturday. The, the first master's program I took kasi, it's related to teaching. But then when I
Got it.
started working sa GOCC, I switched to MBA because I thought that I needed to learn about business so that I could be more productive in my work and I could contribute more to the company. Because if I continue studying masters and teaching at that time, what would it give the company, right? Because it's my obligation to, the company trusted me. So, I need to really give my 100% self. Kumbaga parang hindi lang natatapos yan nung na-interview nila ako, na nagpapaganda ako during the interview or nagpapabango ako sa kanila. Parang sa panliligaw or even in any relationship ba, it doesn't
Yeah.
stop na naging mag boyfriend girlfriend na kayo or naging mag-asawa na kayo. So you stop courting each other already. And I believe it's always a two-way street. Hindi po pwede na si husband lang or si boyfriend lang yun. Dapat pati si girlfriend nag-e-effort din because love is an action word. It takes initiative, it takes action from both parties so that you can both nourish the relationship. So it's the same with work. So when I was able to nail the interview and I was hired, it doesn't stop there. doesn't stop there na, pasok na ako sa company, so mag-slack off na ako. No. So I have to take MBA because I don't know anything about business, because it's not something that I learned when I was studying, right? Because hindi siya related. So I have to take MBA. So during family gatherings, kasi Saturday MBA ko, Monday to Friday work ko, and then I was also I started attending Toastmasters at that time, because nga I really wanted to learn English, to be comfortable speaking in English, because before I don't speak English comfortably. And then I started the distribution business at that time with Jerome San and the others. So I'm doing a lot of four things all at the same time. So every time may family gathering kami, ang gagawin ko, para hindi ko ma-miss out yung family gathering, dadalhin ko yung work ko. At nung time na to, ito yung sinasabi ni Bernadette, I was, tawag dito, finalizing my thesis. So, while we're having fun, so ako, painom-inom ako ng beer, whatever it is, nagtatype ako, nag-work ako. So, nag-multitask.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, because I remember from our last interview, you also started tutoring. Tama ba ako? Tutoring, di ba? You also did that, a part of your, to
Yes.
make extra income. I remember because when I started with your story, I remember nagsa-seminars na kami. I was learning, how to do these seminars. Then pag break, or while the other facilitator was speaking, I would go to another room. I would open my, I can't remember if it was a laptop or my phone, and I would teach English to Koreans online during the break. So, parang ikaw, you're in gatherings and you're doing other stuff. Ako din, pinagsasabay ko. Because I think what stood out for me here was, grabe, Joanna, yung ano mo, yung yearning for learning, the yearning to learn, but also to give value where you are. That's an amazing mindset. I'm saying that because other people, perhaps we're thinking, what's in it for me? It's always what's in it for me. Wala naman extra to, but ko bigyan ng effort. But the mindset that I appreciate about what you were sharing is, you're doing it because you were going to bring it with you wherever you go. But also you had the mindset of wanting to give back to. I'm grateful to say that I also think that way. Like, I want to grow so that I can be more excellent in giving back to where I am, because I want to be, someone who delivers perhaps excellence or something good in this exchange. I'm not just here to take. I'm always like, I think we have that same mindset. I'm always looking like, what can be improved, where can I grow, where can I give, and nakakatawa lang. It's interestingly enough, it's those people, I believe, who have that giving mindset or that growth mindset that also gets more in return, versus those na what's in it for me, hindi naman kasama yan eh, hindi ko na lang gagawin yan. So I just noted that. Also, may question lang, in connection with your cousin's comments. Sabi niya, may I ask if it made you even want to get more? She was referring to the bags. After acquiring that luxury bag, does it, like, how does that work? Like, you buy the bag. I can't compare kasi ako, like, example for me, I'm in the process of collecting guitars. So sa akin, walang katapusan to. If or kami, it was watches before, or shoes. We love shoes. Kaya all these rubber shoes. But it's not really luxury, although they were expensive stuff, but it's not really luxury. So question ni Bernadette, does it make you want to get more after you acquire it? I don't really understand, masyado, but maybe you do, the context of the question, that luxury bag.
Yeah, I think for me, the way I understand Bernadette's question is that, well, kasi Pink, her nickname is Pink. Pink ano kasi eh. Parang there's a level eh. Kumbaga parang I started with a certain type and kind of bag. And then after acquiring that, I have a lot. So, hindi kasi siya natapos sa isang bag lang, Bam, in all honesty. And right
Sure.
now, if you don't remember, I'm not sure lang. Hold on.
Sure. Hello, Australia.
Yeah, so this is I showed this last time. So as you could see, there's a different bag that I put in my vision board. So this is the Chanel, and then this is the Hermes. So
Hermes, yeah.
I level up siya. So habang nagle-level up din yung dream mo, nagle-level up din yung quality of person that you are, and at the same time, the quality of work that you're putting in. Parang succession siya. It's like you're going up the stairs, Bam.
Right.
Habang tumataas, umiiba yung level mo, umiiba yung mindset mo, umiiba yung personality mo, umiiba din yung mga gusto mong mangyari sa buhay mo. And it requires a different kind of you, a different mindset, and a different performance from you, so that you will be able to acquire those things that you really want. So I think for me, what I do is that it's a challenge for myself. So I'm giving myself a challenge. So after ko ma-acquire to, what's next for me? What's my level of happiness? What is it that's going to help to make me happy the next time around? So for me, ito yung happiness ko. So tinataas ko siya so that um, I'll be pressured in a very nice way to work harder, to dream bigger, so that I'll be able to get the dream that I want to acquire for myself. So
So
I'm not sure if I'm able to answer the question, pero parang ganun.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
very clear. But it's sobrang ganda. Gosh, here we are again with this time thing. Kasi may binuksan ka na naman na I want to unpack. Sobrang ganda. But first of all, like I have to ask, was that a Birkin? Birkin ba yung isang bag na
Yes,
yun? Oh,
yes,
kita mo? So, nagpapa-impress lang ako sa mga tao so that they know I know what a Birkin is. That's the only thing I know. Sorry?
diba, it's so expensive. It's so expensive, and I know that it's so expensive for me. So, hindi ko siya minamadali. Para rin hindi ako masyadong ma-pressure.
Ah, yeah.
Pero, I keep it in my mind that parang this is a long-term goal for me. And once I'm able to acquire it, I'm sure. Sometimes, you know what? My beloved husband, who's also watching us right now,
Hi,
he's inside the room. Hi.
Maron!
So, kasi sabi niya, he would always say na I couldn't understand why the bags are so expensive compared to watches. Kasi he's a watch person eh. So, I'm a bag person. Diba? So, sasabihin niya,
Can I ask, like, say, go ahead, go ahead. No, I was gonna ask kung what type of watch person, luxury watch person din ba siya? Or just any watch?
nandoon sa
Okay,
middle
so
na
mga
yun.
mga Tag Heuer. Okay.
Nagle-level up din siya. So, parang nag-start sa
Okay.
Casio, hanggang tumaas, hanggang eto na, tapos iba na, ibang brand na naman, parang ganun. So,
Got it.
leveling up.
Oh,
Pareho kami ni
okay.
Marlon. Na parang we allow
Okay.
enjoy each process. So, he would always tell me na parang, I couldn't understand but sobrang mahal ng bag compared to the watch because sa watch, di ba, sobrang madaming process na pinagdadaanan. The little details, sobrang hirap siyang gawin.
Yeah.
Sabi niya ganun, yung bag mo, tinagi lang naman yan. So, minsan naglolokohan kami ng ganyan. Pero, it's not really kung ano ba yung brand. We're not really talking about the brand eh. I think what we're really talking about here is the kind of happiness and the kind of fulfillment this particular thing is giving me. So yun yung mas importante na tingnan natin or we look at. For you, for others, it might be a watch, it might be a shoes. For others, it might be a bag. For others, it might be a travel. For others, it might be a food, right? For you, going out, eating in a restaurant, spending on food is something that gives you happiness. So who am I to judge you? Kung yun yung nagpapasaya sa'yo, do it.
I mean, I remember. I mean, I just like, gosh, you had to share that now. I wish we had like 3 hours tonight. But sige, wait lang, Joanna. I'm getting excited because that was super great what you just shared about the bag thing. But especially pertaining to, what type of person will be able to create this bag. Because it's not the same person from 10 years ago. Because the person we were 10 years ago would not even be the capacity to create, kunyari lang like a plastic bag. Example, I'm exaggerating. But I get what you're saying. So anyway, I'm gonna say a few things because there's a lot. I'm getting excited. This is something I had to hear tonight. But dito muna ako. So I'm glad Russell is working and enjoying. I'm so happy you're here, Russell, man. I appreciate you commenting also. I'm glad that you're enjoying this because now we're talking about goals. But really quickly, sabi lang ni Angie, part 3. But Angie, I don't know if Joanna will agree with me, but I would say the only way there's going to be a part 3 is if you and Jev and perhaps Jerome will be part of the discussion also. What do you think, Joanna? Then let's hear your story of the struggles and the trials and the success. Ano yan? What is it? Sorry?
I fully back you up with.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to hear yung kwentuhan yung apat, about your journey, but also seeing you face to face with each other. We can have a lot of people here on this StreamYard. So sige, so sabi so I don't know, I hope you guys agree, Angie. I'm putting everyone on the spot. We'll talk about it offline. But sabi ni Pink, siya ba si Pink? Yeah, sabi niya, I love it. Going up the stairs is a great metaphor. But what I like particularly about this metaphor, Joanna, tama yung sinabi mo eh. It's the mindset that I create, because it'll take a new me. So those who are watching, and I hope you like this one, it's if you have a certain mindset that is not able to break through certain challenges you're going through, it's important for you to be able to create a new mindset that can allow you to enjoy these things. Okay, so sabi ni Bernadette, leveling up one's dream is a great way to position yeah, your dream is a great way to position. Yeah, it's just leveling up. But again, I like what Joanna said. It depends sa inyo. For some, it's food. For some, it's watches. For some, it's baking. For some, it's traveling. And all of that stuff. So yeah, we understood what you said, Bernadette. But that was just great. Joanna, because I work with a lot of also different companies, different people, and some of the people I work with, they're not even 30 years old, and they're driving luxury cars. Mga naka Porsche, they're buying Ferraris and stuff. And then, but what's interesting is if you ask them, and again, that like they're very young in how they think, but they would just say it wasn't just about the car, but it was about how we grew as men or as women, as individuals, to be able to get to a point where we're able to afford something like that, because we had to grow our skills, we had to grow our experience, we had to grow our yung manner of how we connect with people and how we speak with people. So that's amazing. And then once nakuha mo na siya, because they study this in Harvard, in other Ivy League schools, where they say that's why success is a moving target. It's constantly moving. Pag na-achieve mo na yan, you'll celebrate, you'll be happy, then you want to go to the next one, and then the next one. So I think that's really, really, really good stuff. Russell also says, thanks, man. I'm glad you're here, brother. So sige. Wow. Okay. So I
Acknowledge lang
guess,
din ba?
please go ahead.
Miss Amor Luzon, she's watching us right now, and she actually commented. Miss Amor is also a former boss and office mate in Pesam. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for being here. Um, you just reminded me, but also I guess for people who are watching, maybe there are things, Joanna, na today. I always share this sa live because there might be things today na, and you might relate also. Diba, aren't there things in your life today na dati pinagpe-pray mo lang, things in your life today that dati you were hoping, Lord, one day sana magawa ko din yan. And now that you're there, parang you think like, normal lang naman to eh. Normal lang naman tong may bag na ganito, o may bahay na ganito, o may car na ganito, o may mga kaibigan na ganito. But there was a time in our lives where we were just praying for that. We were just hoping one day, sana, Lord, like you were saying, I get to meet, people who are influential, people who are making a difference.
Yes.
One thing that struck me was you were talking about, food, because I remember like years back when I was really struggling as a musician, and I wasn't making any money at all. Well, I was making some, but very little. I mean, there was a time in my life I was making little. There was a time I was made a lot also. Sa journey ko as a musician. But the times that I wasn't making a lot, I remember thinking one day, Joanna, sabi ko, I'd love to go to a restaurant and and be able to open the menu and just order whatever I want. I know,
Yeah.
you might have that story also based, 'di ba, basing on your yung kwento mo. And then now, 'di ba, Joanna, now I mean, and I'm praising God, I'm thanking God, but we have opportunities to not just for us, but to share it with people sometimes, to be able to share that blessing. It's quite remarkable. But I think for a lot of people watching this, a lot of people also forget na ang dami mo lang, you were hoping for a lot of things before, now you have it. Maybe it's a good reminder as we go towards the wrap up na there's a lot of stuff around you. Naalala mo, pinipray mo lang yung aircon na yan, o yung TV na yan, o yung kaibigan mo na yan na, or itong Laurus opportunity. And people are looking at you, Jev and Jerome and Angie, they're saying, wow, one day we wish we could be like Joanna, who gets to have dinner with Gary Vaynerchuk, and I'll say a name that Joanna will like, Matthew Hussey. You know, and 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 Kiyosaki, and people are looking at you. And I'm saying this because I know they're watching Sina Jerome and Angie, but also, and I know it hasn't been easy this year. I know there's been a lot of challenges as well. But it's interesting, ang interesting ng buhay, Juana, no? Like when you think you get to a certain point, you're there, and there's just new challenges that come up. But also before, you never would have imagined that you'd be with Robert Kiyosaki or all these guys, Andrew Matthews. But there's still challenges, and now it's Mind Valley. When people were like, wow, to be
Yeah.
able to connect with Mind Valley. So yun lang. I mean, I just wanted to comment on that. Just jump in anywhere. I'll just flash in some more things. So nice to hear and see you live, Joanna. Si sabi ni Russell, I'm glad it's Russell. It used to be always Royce commenting. I'm glad Russell, the brother, is here. Late watching best, pero nakahabol pa rin si Elizir Monet. Do you
Best
know?
and Monette. Yes. Hi,
All right.
Monette. Hi, Best. Thank you. Yeah. So I think siguro, Bam, yeah, there are so many things that 10 or 15 years ago we were just dreaming of them, and now that we have them, it will always be good to look back and at the same time trace back. I love tracing back. I mean, I always walk down memory lane. I do that.
Yeah,
And then
do that.
binabalik ang panahon na walang-wala ako, yung mga panahon na I'm searching or I'm yearning for something. So that now that I have them, I will never forget the hard work that I put in, and at the same time, the blessing that I got and the guidance that I got from him. That's why I'm able to enjoy life kung ano yung meron na ako right now. One of the things, Bam, is that Laurus is really a gift for me. So through the Cash Flow 101 workshop, I met Jerome. And unfortunately, we've been working closely together. He's not really my parang direct leader at the time. Pang ilang level ako, but I had the opportunity to go directly to him. So through Jerome, na-harness yung interest ko into trainings, personal trainings, into reading, and also I love when you see me attending training or even writing down, BAM, I have usually 3 to 5 ball pens with me, different colors. I would have pink, I would have violet, I would have green, I would have gold, I would have blue. So different colors all the time. The reason is that because Jerome imparted to me that whenever you are writing, it's your logical brain that's working. So what you do is that you use different colors of pen so that your creative side would still be stimulated and maintain the balance. So I learned those kind of things from Jerome. And then eventually when Laurus Enterprises needed to expand because the opportunity to bring Robert Kiyosaki to the Philippines came in 2015, and that's when Jerome needed new partners, because basically Laurus Enterprises is a solo business before. So right now he needs partners to bring him into the business so that we will be able, Laurus will be able to meet the criteria required for bringing Robert Kiyosaki in the Philippines. And I was one of the people who got tapped in. And I think that's when my learnings from all the business writing and even yung mga inattendant ko na personal trainings before from accountancy to American English, doon na siya pumasok, doon ko na siya nagamit. So hindi siya nasayang at all because of the skills that
Absolutely.
I was able to acquire when I was working. Yun yung nakita ni Jerome na made him decide that he needed me to be part of Laurus Enterprises, and that I have something to impart to him or to share to the team so that Laurus will continue to prosper, especially with its new goal with bringing in speakers like Robert Kiyosaki. And because of that, nakakatuwa lang, Bam, kasi and it's so true that I was able to have dinner with Gary Vaynerchuk, with Matthew Asi, met so many people like June, Rajiv Talreja, this kind of people. And
Yeah.
through my conversations with them, I'm really really learning a lot. And that's an
Yeah.
opportunity because some people would have to pay for that. Eh. Ako, because I'm part of Laurus Enterprises, I'm a co-owner, I have that opportunity and it's a really, really wonderful gift. And it's so lovely lang just to share to you, Bam, because with Matthew, before kasi, what usually happens is that um, we are communicating our keynote speaker through Success Resources. So, but in the time of Matthew Hasi, it was us who directly connected with him, contacted him. So I was the one who sent him the email. And then ever since then, na-pick yung interest ni Matthew Hasi. So we're able to communicate from time to time. At first, it was just all about business, like we're talking about the logistical side, everything about his flight, what does he need when he comes to the Philippines, until eventually our conversation became so personal in a way na para na lang kaming magkaibigan.
Wonderful.
And that we're talking about so many personal stuff, and that when he came in here in the Philippines, I asked him, um, I told him, so Matthew, I'm just so curious because I understand that you have a lot of invitations to go to the Philippines. And at the same time, there are other invitations for you to do a training or to do a seminar, which coincided with the date of our event. But then you
Hmm.
chose Philippines and you chose Laurus Enterprises. Why is that? And his answer was, it's because of you, meaning because of the relationship that we were able to build with him. He
Wonderful.
said yes to us, not because we're offering him a business opportunity, but rather we're offering him a relationship beyond business. And that's so wonderful because that's when I realized really, Bam, that Laurus Enterprises, we are not an events organizing company, but we are actually in the business of building and creating relationship. And whenever I would talk to other people, to our clients, to our friends, and I would sometimes ask them like, or I would always thank them like, thank you for supporting us, thank you for attending, thank you for whatever it is, or for enrolling. And they would always tell us, no, thank you, Laurus, because you did this, you did this for us. My goal happened because of the events that you're doing, because of the speaker that you're bringing in. And then after that, this person becomes a friend, not just a client anymore. That really solidifies my belief that I am in the right track. That you know what, all the challenges that I've been through, Bam, and everything that I've done since I was probably or a toddler up until the moment I started doing the Laurus business, I realized that my road really was going to Laurus Enterprises. There are so many roads leading to Laurus Enterprises, but then eventually all these roads, I take a lot of U-turns, I took a lot of bumps along the road, but then eventually the final destination for me really is organizing events and the things that I'm doing right now. This is not just a business for me, but this is really my passion. I love organizing events for my friends. I love surprising friends. I love to contribute to my friends. I love planning, even if it's a simple out of town trip like in just Laguna, Tagaytay. I would plan ahead and I would provide them the itinerary. I love doing that. So, it makes me realize right now that everything that I've gone through and all the roads really lead to where I am right now, and that is Laurus Enterprises for me. And I think what I wanted to impart to everybody is that it's so important to have a clarity in your mind what is it really that you want to happen into your life, or what is it really that you want to acquire into your life. And sometimes when you hit some bumps along the road, sabi nga ni Oprah, is that when you are failing on something, it's just the universe or God's way of telling you that, hey, you're moving in the wrong direction. So maybe you would have to
Mm.
pause and analyze. Probably you are in a crossroad right now and you are in the middle. You don't know whether you should go left or you should go right. And then you decided to go right. Okay. But then in the middle of it, you realize, no, this is not, this is taking me away from what I really want. Then make a U-turn and then go back to the crossroad and take the left.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's this concept about ano I can't remember if it was from Kyle Cease that I heard this from, or si John, where he said when people are trying to decide something. Yeah, there's let me know kung gusto mong if you want to comment on this or not. But this is interesting because but anyway, they were saying like when we're trying to decide that we follow the right path, we're assuming though, Joanna, that there's a wrong path, you know. So it makes us fearful about choices we make in life. I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to make a mistake. But I think at the end of the day, I believe my own belief is if you are guided by higher intentions, which is about you're guided by God, you're guided by um, a force that allows you to be kind and to help people, then there's no wrong way. I think the only wrong way, Joanna, is when meron kang malice in your heart and you want to hurt people, or you pretend you're good and kind, but you're actually there's actually malice and hurt that you're inflicting on people. But I also say, for those who are watching, I also believe that that hurt and pain, lalo na if it's intentional, there are people who intentionally want to hurt people, and unfortunately. But I say that's why hurt and pain keeps going back to you. I guess it's my prayer for people as we wrap up, that from I mean, as we wrap up. By the way, those who are watching, please comment your biggest takeaway from this session. Let me know what you guys think. With etong long there's a long comment here that if you wanna if you wanna talk about this one. I like these things kasi there's a may pull ng energy to, gusto ko ng mga ganito eh. But we don't really have time, but I appreciate you, JC, for commenting and letting us know what you think. And I love it that not everyone is going to agree with stuff that we're sharing and putting out. This is also my journey, Joanna. I think with go ahead.
Yes, I agree with what you said. Like everybody to really agree with that, always agree with you, then you're really doing something wrong. You're
Oh, I
probably
love
just
that.
faking it, and
Oh, I
that
love that. Wait
it's
lang, nag-buffer. Go ahead.
from
Buffer
you.
lang.
That's why you're being, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think, for example, person A likes lasagna, person B likes spaghetti, person C likes fettuccine. So whenever you are with them, you're also pretending that you like the lasagna. So whenever you're with person B, you like the spaghetti. So meaning you're not really being truthful. That's why you're being liked by everybody.
Ay,
That's my
ganda
take.
niyan.
So
And that's why
yes, I
also you're unhappy. Yeah, but
yes,
that's why you're
yes,
also
true.
unhappy. That people are unhappy because they're not authentic, because they always need to adjust,
Mm,
depending on sinong kaharap nila, and
yeah,
they become ano yan, there's no integrity. Being whole means being aware of who you are, no
yeah,
matter who you're in front of. This is something I'm learning din eh. That's why that's why I appreciate these comments, kasi I'm looking at social media ngayon, the push and pull of how there's a lot of hatred, with sa states it's the left versus the right. Here there's the alam niyo naman yung mga political stuff. But what I'm learning here as someone who's observing, ang ganda yung sinabi. And I learned this also from Dr. DiMartini, Joanna. Sabi niya, you will always have the polar opposite of where you are. Always there's always going to be good, there's evil, there's left, there's right, there's up, down. Harv talks about this as well, because you need it. You that definitely need it in your life. Kaya this helped me with my own struggle with depression also, Joanna. You know, you can't expect to always be happy. It's not realistic. Royce, if you guys are watching, there's a lot of younger people watching this, it's unrealistic to think that you're always going to be happy. You always need that push and pull. It's always
yeah,
going to be designed that way. I mean, it's sad to say, but if we were all good, lahat tayo, we were all just, uh, praising God and all kindness, then there wouldn't be any measure to know like who's the person who is has their own free will to decide what they want to do. That's why I love the push and pull. And ang ganda nung sinabi mo, if everyone is agreeing with you or you're always trying to adjust, you're not on the right path, because you've fallen into this space where you are called a people pleaser. and
yeah,
and 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 sadly, and I know, but like again, I know we're wrapping up it. Okay, part three with everyone in Laurus, but also I think, Joanna, no, that's where a lot of people become unhappy, because and this is an issue I actually had to deal with today also. I was coaching someone and I reminded her, sabi ko, not everyone is gonna like you. This was my
Yeah.
biggest challenge, Joanna. No, ever since I was a little kid, I wanted everyone to like me. And when people were not liking me, even as an adult now doing this good work, not everyone likes me. And I think then what I try to share, sabi ko, but is there a certain degree of love and respect you have for yourself? And that love and respect you have for yourself allows you to also see the goodness in other people. And I would say if you're there, that's a great pathway to follow, because you're not egoic and saying, I'm only good and I like myself, but I don't like you because you're less than me. That it's never
Yes.
that way. It's never that way. It's always, I see the good in me because I can see that. I also see the good in you, and let's lift each other up. And I think that's the energy. That's why I love chatting with you. That's the energy we're trying to share and create. But I love it. I'm glad, we got there. Kasi ako, I like controversial stuff also. Not too controversial, but I like it kasi it's points of discussion, Joanna. And I know you've gone through so many things like that, so which I love. Um, I guess as we wrap up, please, yeah, thank you for typing in what was your greatest learning, guys, and you can say goodbye as Joanna and I will wrap it up. But so sabi ni
Yeah.
Royce, listen to others' feedback, but also be grounded on what your values are. Russell says he agrees. That's life. So he's Royce is seconding part 3. So alam niyo na yung pag party. If the rest of Flores it'll be a great interaction to hear their stories. If wala identity nila, they don't know who they are. I realize that knowing what you want shows you being grounded. Yeah, and choosing to grow. Right. But that I also want to add to this though. But being authentic to who you are does not mean you make other people wrong, or you intentionally make other people feel bad. It's not at all that. You're authentically you, but you're mararamdaman mo naman sa energy ng tao, 'di ba, Joanna? Like, that's why you get to know who it is that you want to hang around with. Like you mentioned that kanina, the relationships, but it's so important. Anyway, sige, while they're typing in their learnings, I'm just so grateful everyone joined. Anything else to share? Any updates? I don't
Actually,
know
Bam,
anything else. Go ahead, Joanna. I think to add pa. Go ahead.
I just want to share also that we were the same before. What people thinks of me and what other people's opinion of me dominated my life before, and it makes me so unhappy because nga, I'm trying to please everybody. So I went to a training, I went to a personal coaching at that time just to realize this kind of things. So now, little by little, learning not to leave me to live my life. But I just remember when we were doing this donation, yet ba naalala mo yung Facebook Live namin
I
before,
remember.
where
Yeah.
we were raising money for the frontliners and for the displaced event personnel in the events industry. One of our clients, when we were talking to him, he shared that in his group there are some people who commented daw na they don't like it that Laurus was doing that kind of activity because it's as if we were using the pandemic to our own advantage to promote Laurus or to promote our speakers or whatsoever.
Yeah.
So sabi naman namin when we discussed that, you know what? At the end of the day, people is going to say something, and that's
Always.
yeah, so it's really up to you na lang kung magpapa-apekto ka. Kasi at that time, when we do donation, people are really so happy to donate, to share some of their blessings to this displaced event personnel. So, ang ano na lang namin is that we'll look at the percentage of those who are supporting us and who were happy with what we are doing compared to the very little number of people who is opposing the activity that we do. So siguro in our personal life, Bam, sometimes isipin na lang natin ano ba yung mas importante, this people, the little voice or the little voice of these people, if you're going to allow them to creep into your mindset and ruin you and give you negativity, or yung mas maraming tao na naniniwala at sumusuporta sa'yo. Because when you decide on something, as long as you know it's moral, it's ethical, it's legal, wala kang sinasaktan, wala kang hinaharm, wala kang ninanakawan, then go for it.
Yeah.
That's always what I would want to tell people.
And what stopped me for the longest time to just be like, I mean, sa akin, Joanna, I mean, I'm so grateful you're here, but this is a miracle in itself. Itong chatting with you, chatting with Robert, chatting with, you know, other people that I've had here. I mean, I never would have, Joanna, and I hope you get this message. I mean, I'm just saying thank you to you and for your kindness, everyone in Laurus, Jerome, that interview that he did. I'm the type of guy I never wanted to take action, Joanna. Alam mo kung bakit? Because I
Wow.
was afraid people would judge me and people would not
Yes.
like what I was doing. So I stayed paralyzed. Wala akong gustong
Yes.
action. I didn't even want to be on a camera like this. And people have been sending me, Bam, you know, we appreciate you, the live, and but that was the scariest thing in my life, Joanna, because I knew that people could be so cruel and could say a lot of hurtful things. But I also learned the once you get to a stage where you get to have a healthy health love, which is uplifting for other people, which is praising your creator, then you have nothing to worry about it, because the way the world is designed, there will always be people who will push against what you're doing eh. But if you're going to allow that to stop you, wala ka na eh. Doon ka na lang sa bahay, magkulong ka. Then you won't
Yeah.
get, you know, but you won't get anything. But I think even in the Bible that was promised, in this world you will have trouble, but take heart because I have overcome the world, you know. And I was also going to add, gosh, we're going over time, but I hope you're okay. But you know, we're wrapping up na. Ang ganda nito, ang ganda. That's why I say I enjoy chatting with you. Sabi lang ni Asari, I want to honor our guests lang tonight, no. Coach, my greatest takeaway po is that we should treat ourselves well po, talaga. It's really our business, yeah. Grabe, Coach. Thank you. And Miss Joanna, grabe, marami pong learnings from you po. This is all the way from Cebu. You know, God bless you guys, Asali. You know, I guess we're all going through it. I'll also post itong kay Russell, who's been with us from the beginning. Yes, wala identity. They don't know who they are, and realize that knowing that you want shows, you are grounded and choosing to grow. Yes. And also from Adante Layesa, she says, love the topic. Part 3, please, Joanna. Joanna looks great as usual. You're both very inspiring. I'm a fan now. So sino si Adante ulit? I'm losing track of people.
And is a former office mate in Pisam,
The
and
office
right
mate.
now, yeah, he's very popular. He's really good in doing mga accessories. He's internationally recognized, si Dan. Dan, hello, I miss you so much.
Hi,
It's
Dan.
been a while. Thank you for joining tonight. I miss you.
Thank you, Dan, and everyone else who joined. If you're gonna be if you're gonna be watching this as a replay, please type in, you know, hashtag replay or team replay, so I know you're watching the replay. But again, maraming salamat sa lahat ng nanood tonight. I hope you wrote down all your learnings, Joanne. I always learn a lot from you. And you know, just to honor the time as well. But grabe, you know, I'm grateful to you, Marlon. I'm grateful to you for you know, allowing us to do this as well, and all the support you've been giving to your lovely wife. And you know, I know you're so proud watching her you know, here. I just my heart is full tonight, Joanna. I mean, I'm grateful for being God's instrument of blessing to me and to everyone here. And I sincerely say that. I sincerely, ang daming learnings. I'm actually going to be writing this down. I wanna catch it. But a biggest takeaway ko was from that time that you took out that vision board, eh. Because there was also a time for me
Mhm.
where I stopped. You know, I stopped putting my vision because sabi ko, it's always instantly. And this is not from arrogance, but this is like from faith. Like I know it's always instantly manifesting naman.
Yes.
So I decided to stop doing it. But now I'm excited to you know, to share that. Oh, see, Coach RC is here. She was my guest also, certified by John Maxwell himself. She's friends with John Maxwell. Imagine that. Uh, thank you, Joanna and Coach Ma'am. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah. Anything else to add
Yeah,
before
I
we?
Yes, thank you, Bam. Really, it's my honor being part of your show, and thank you for giving me the opportunity once again to share. And I really hope I don't know how the conversation went, so later I'm going to watch the replay so that I would see or hear whatever I it is that I said. But I'm hoping for all the viewers right now. Thank you for joining us. I honor your presence. Thank you very much. I'm grateful to for the time that you have given Bam and I. And Once again, Bam, you blew me away, and all the comments that we are receiving right now. Thank you very much for the people who are agreeing with us, for giving us your inputs. And at the same time, the push and pull comments, that they're really nice. And we appreciate that because it allows us to also think and take a step back and review the things that we are doing and that we are saying. That's the most important about mistakes and feedback, Bame. It's not really mistakes are not really created for to put us down, but rather to give us really an opportunity to reflect, make a decision whether this is something that's going to be helpful for us moving forward or not, and that the feedback that people are giving us, whether it's good or not, it's actually going to help us be more successful in our life. So at the end of the day, we always have the choice. Make the decision. We all have the power of choice in us. Make the choice. Make it count always, and reflect so deeply, and always as our Creator, the universe, God, or whatever it is that you call it, Allah for other people, right?
Yeah,
It may
of
be
course,
Jesus, it may be God, it may be
of
Allah, it may
course.
be universe for everybody. But I truly believe, and I've always said that there's always a higher power above us that is guiding me personally, and that is God for me. And as we end tonight, Bob, I just want to encourage everybody who's listening or watching us right now. If you haven't done it in your entire life, please create your vision board. There's no right and wrong, but it's going to really give you so much clarity in what it is that you want to achieve in your life, and at the same time, affirmation. So this is my affirmation. So I'm not sure if you can read it. So this is displayed in my home, along with the vision board. Ganyan siya lagi yan. The affirmation and the vision board, ganyan siya lagi. So every morning or every day, whenever I feel so down, bam, I would always look at my vision board, and I feel so inspired, and I would go back to working because I have my aspirations with me. So if I stop
It's
working, if
beautiful.
I don't do well, if I don't do productively and efficiently, I won't be able to get the things that I wanted for my life, right? But at the same time, I would always remind myself of these things. Who am I and what am I for myself, not for other people? Okay, so I
That's
always have
beautiful.
my aspirations, my words of affirmations. I always affirm myself. So for all our viewers, I hope that you would also do something for yourself. It may be as simple as in the morning when you wake up, you tell yourself, I'm so beautiful today. I am so loved. I am worthy. I
Yeah.
deserve all the trust and respect. My family, my husband, my significant other loves me so much. These little things that we are saying to ourselves, you know what? Little by little, it strengthens you. It gives you the confidence. It starts to make you believe really that you are worthy and that you are powerful beyond your imagination, and that you are always a magnificent creation of the universe or God. So, message for you, always remember that you have a beautiful blessing. You are a beautiful blessing. You are beautifully and magnificently created for a purpose. Use that purpose. If you don't know it yet, keep on looking, keep on praying. I'll be praying for you too. Thank you. I hope I'm able to inspire you tonight.
Ah, on that note, I am inspired. I am inspired. So Jerome, thank you. Learned a lot from both of you. Asali from Cebu, they're just wow now. They're just in awe. Joanna, I'll take it from those words that you spoke because I want to end there. I don't want to add anymore. God bless you. God bless Loros. God bless you and Marlon. God bless the work of your hands. I appreciate you for for bringing your light and sharing your light here with us sa page. Everyone else who's watching and who's watching this replay, I know Joanna agrees with me. We only have one intention for you, that God would bless you, would bless your
Yeah.
families, and that you would find peace and joy, and you would live a life of abundance and kindness. Wow,
Mm.
meron din akong parting pala. So God bless everyone. I guess that's
Here's
it. Paano yan? I like ganyan, ganyan. Okay, I like it.
the micro heart. This is the big
Ang
heart.
micro, only micro. Okay, ganyan. Okay.
This is the big heart. This is to this to this. So that's
Micro
my
heart.
happy for you, Bam, and for everybody else. And God bless you too, Bam. God bless the work of your hands. God bless your family and everyone that you care for. And God bless you, our magnificent viewers. You are all beautiful. Have a wonderful day ahead of
Good
you guys.
night. Bye. God bless everyone. Bye. Bye, YouTube. Thanks, everyone. Bye. You can still